Another thing that can worry learners is speed. Sometimes teachers or colleagues speak quite quickly without realizing it. In that case, you could say, "Could you slow down a bit," or "Would you mind speaking a little more slowly?" It's useful to notice the difference between asking someone to repeat and asking them to slow down. Repeating means saying the same thing again. Slowing down means saying it at a reduced pace. There are also situations where you're unsure what someone means. For example, if someone says, "I need this soon," what does soon actually mean? An hour? A day? A week? Exactly. If you don't check, you might make a mistake. You could ask, "When do you need it?" or "What's the deadline?" These sorts of questions sound perfectly natural in the workplace. And they help avoid confusion and unnecessary stress. We should also mention emails. Emails are very useful for clarification because you have time to read carefully and think things through. If someone sends instructions that aren't clear, you can reply with, "Could you explain the second part?" or "I'm not sure what invoice means, could you give an example?" Asking for examples is particularly helpful. People will usually explain things more clearly with a simple situation. Yes, examples make abstract ideas much easier to understand. Another useful question is, "What should I do first?" as the order of tasks can sometimes be confusing. And when talking about deadlines, you might ask, "What's the latest time?" or "When is this due?" So the main point is that in school and at work, asking questions is a key part of communication. It helps you avoid mistakes and shows you want to do things properly. And people respect that. Staying quiet is often what leads to problems later on. In the next section, we'll look at what to do when you don't know a word and need to describe it. Let's talk about those moments when you don't know a word. This is a very common issue for learners. You're in a conversation, you want to say something, but you don't know the word in English. It can feel quite frustrating. You know exactly what you mean, but you can't express it. The good news is you don't always need the exact word. You can describe it, explain it in simple terms, or compare it to something else. For instance, if you forget the word lift, you could say, "The machine that takes people up and down in a building." It may not be perfect, but people will understand. Another example, if you can't remember wallet, you might say, "The small thing where I keep my money and cards." This method is called describing. You explain what something does instead of naming it directly. You can also use general category words like animal, fruit, tool, vehicle, or clothing. For example, if you forget cucumber, you could say, "It's a vegetable, long and green, often used in salads." Or if you don't remember microwave, you might say, "A kitchen appliance that heats food very quickly." These descriptions are simple, clear, and effective. Interestingly, native speakers do this as well when they can't remember a word. That's right. Everyone has said something like, "You know, that thing you use to open bottles." And someone replies, "Do you mean a bottle opener?" Exactly. So describing things is a natural part of communication in any language.